Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of one of history's most powerful and long-lasting empires, the Ottoman Empire. How did a small Anatolian principality grow to dominate vast swathes of Europe, Asia, and Africa for over 600 years? Well, grab your virtual passport because we're about to find out. Our story begins in the late 13th century, a time of chaos and opportunity in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey. The once mighty Seljuk Sultanate of Rum was crumbling, and the Byzantine Empire was a shadow of its former self. This power vacuum created a mosaic of small Turkish states, or beyliks, all vying for control. Among them was a small but ambitious group led by a chieftain named Ertugrul. His son Osman I is the one who would give his name to the future empire. Osman was a brilliant leader and strategist. He established his state around the town of Sta around the year 1299. Now, what set Osman apart? It wasn't just military skill. He had a vision. He attracted followers known as Ghazis, who were warriors for the faith, driven by a powerful ideology to expand the borders of the Islamic world. This potent mix of ambition and religious zeal was a key ingredient in their early success. They weren't just conquering land, they were on a mission. Under Osman and his son Orhan, the Ottomans began a relentless campaign of expansion. They weren't just fighting, they were strategically absorbing their neighbors. One of their most significant early victories was the capture of Bursa in 1326. This wasn't just another city. It became the first major Ottoman capital. Taking Bursa gave them a solid administrative base, a center for trade, and immense prestige. From here, they could launch even more ambitious campaigns. A crucial development under Orhan was the creation of a professional standing army. Before this, armies were mostly tribal levies that would gather for a campaign and then go home. The Ottomans established the Janissaries. These were elite infantry units, originally formed from prisoners of war and later through a levy system called the Devlet, where young Christian boys from the Balkans were recruited, converted to Islam, and trained to be fiercely loyal soldiers and administrators. The Janissaries became one of the most formidable military forces of their time. A disciplined, modern army that gave the Ottomans a huge advantage over their European rivals. With a strong army and a solid base, the Ottomans looked west, across the Dardanelles Strait, into Europe. In 1354, they seized Gallipoli. This was a game-changer. It gave them their first permanent foothold on the European continent. From this bridgehead, the path into the Balkans was wide open. Sultan Murat-e Orhan's successor pushed deep into Europe. He moved the capital to Adrianople, now Edirne, in Thrace, signaling a clear shift in focus. The Ottomans were now a major European power. The Battle of Kosovo in 1389 is a pivotal moment in this story. Murad I led a massive Ottoman army against a coalition of Balkan forces led by Serbian Prince Lazar. Although both leaders perished in the battle, the outcome was a decisive Ottoman victory. It shattered Serbian power and paved the way for Ottoman domination of the Balkans for the next 5 centuries. This victory cemented their control and sent shockwaves across Christian Europe. But the rise wasn't a straight, unbroken line. In the early 15th century, the Ottomans faced a catastrophic threat from the east. The Turco-Mongol conqueror, Timur, also known as Tamerlane, swept into Anatolia at the Battle of Ankara in 1402. Timur's forces crushed the Ottoman army and captured Sultan Bayezid I. The empire was thrown into chaos, leading to a decade-long civil war between Bayezid's sons, known as the Ottoman Interregnum. It seemed like the young empire might collapse entirely. However, the Ottomans proved incredibly resilient. By 1413, Mehmed I emerged victorious from the civil war. He earned the title the second founder of the empire for his work in restoring central authority and putting the state back together. This period of recovery demonstrated the underlying strength of the Ottoman administrative and military institutions. They could survive even the most devastating of setbacks. With the empire back on its feet, the ultimate prize was in sight: Constantinople, the legendary capital of the Byzantine Empire. For centuries, the city had stood as the bastion of Eastern Christendom, its massive walls repelling countless sieges. But by the mid-15th century, the Byzantine Empire was a tiny, weakened state. Essentially just the city itself and a few surrounding territories. In 1453, the 21-year-old Sultan Mehmed II, who would later be known as Mehmed the Conqueror, laid siege to the city. This was no ordinary siege. Mehmed brought an army of around 80,000 men and, most importantly, massive cannons designed by a Hungarian engineer named Orban. These superguns could blast through walls that had stood for 1,000 years after a grueling 53-day siege. On May 29, 1453, Ottoman forces breached the walls and the city fell. The fall of Constantinople was an event of world historical importance. It marked the definitive end of the Roman Empire and sent a tsunami of panic and awe across Europe. For the Ottomans, it was their crowning achievement. Mehmed the Conqueror made Constantinople his new capital, renaming it Istanbul. He transformed the city into a vibrant, multicultural center of his vast empire, a symbol of Ottoman power and glory. The conquest of Constantinople wasn't the end. It was a new beginning. It solidified the Ottoman Empire as the dominant power in the Eastern Mediterranean and the Balkans. Over the next century, under sultans like Selim I and Suleiman the Magnificent, the empire would reach its zenith. They conquered Egypt, Syria, and the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, making the Sultan the Caliph, the leader of the Sunni Muslim world. They pushed further into Europe, besieging Vienna, and their navy, led by admirals like Barbarossa, controlled the Mediterranean. So, how did they do it? Let's recap the key steps. It started with visionary leadership under Osman and a powerful Ghazi warrior ethos. They built a strong, centralized state with a professional army, the Janissaries, that was second to none. They made strategic conquests like Bursa and Gallipoli that served as springboards for further expansion. They showed incredible resilience, recovering from near-total collapse during the interregnum. And finally, they achieved their ultimate goal with the conquest of Constantinople, transforming their state into a true world empire. The rise of the Ottoman Empire is a fascinating story of ambition, faith, military innovation, and political genius. It is a testament to how a small group of determined people can change the course of history. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey through the early days of the Ottoman Empire. If you found this interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next historical deep dive. Let me know in the comments which empire you'd like to see us cover next. Until then, stay curious,